Yep, you read that right. Or maybe it says up here or here, I don't know. But this video is sponsored by Honey. Stick around till the end to find out how you can save some mad cash on those regrettable late-night internet purchases. Whoever designed these handcuffs is hopefully out of the job. I mean, you may as well be sticking your hands through a tire.
By order of the Grand Council of Haven City, for heinous acts and crimes against the people, you are hereby banished to the wasteland for life.
So weird to think that Jak 3 is a game from way back in 2004. The animations and production values certainly betray that fact. This is a damn good looking game for its time, and I almost wouldn't question if it came out today. Almost.
Jak?
Go back to the city, Dax.
Daxter and Pekka have learned the mysterious art of off-screen teleportation.
Let's go with him! We'll help together! You mean we'll die together?
The game makes out like the wasteland is an endless desert, but in reality it's barely a few kilometers long. Also, they're expected to wander endlessly with no way to know where to go when Spargus City has this giant gosh dang light beacon thing that you can see from almost anywhere in the desert.
Reports say new Crimson Death bots are holding a vital section of the industrial area.
It appears the strongest metalheads have survived.
So you're telling me the last game was all for nothing then?
Right. Good plan, Jak.
There is water everywhere in this friggin' desert, my dudes.
Out here, everything is either useful or dead weight. Complete your training, then enter the arena. Just the bravest crawl out and are allowed to stay in Spargus.
So where does that leave Daxter? He does practically nothing, so that's just another useless mouth to feed.
The candidates have won the challenge.
Why does Pekka sound surprised that Jak was able to beat the obstacle course? Without his acrobatic skills, Jak 2 probably wouldn't have happened.
Prepare the warriors.
You mean we have to fight against actual people? With actual weapons? Who actually want to hurt us?
Just like you did in the last game with all the Crimson Guard soldiers. This is not a new experience for Jak.
In fact, I've got a job for you right now. Ride me leaper lizard here and catch a few of those little buggers that have been raiding me storerooms.
As an Australian, I am very fucking offended. We do not say buggers, we say buggers. We pronounce a U as a U, not as a fucking O. If we Aussies can get your accent right, then you Yanks can put a little more effort in, I'm sure. Slightly annoying that the game forces you into a mission straight after leaving the arena, but at the same time it's one of the better things about Jak 3. You get funneled towards missions a lot instead of the tedious back and forth that Jak 2 made you do. Ending a mission usually puts you right near the next one, which is very much appreciated. Again, what does this represent? What is Jak doing? How is he hitting the buttons? Does he have a DualShock just laying around? I need details, damn it! Am I the only one who thought the Tough Puppy was made out of sausage links? No?
I'd say that yappy rodent of yours is a bit bony, but skinned and buttered, he'd make a nice treat.
There has to be something about eating animals that can talk, right? I could care less about Daxter though, I only ask because goat meat is a delicacy in some places and I don't want anybody to eat my persona. Probably shouldn't linger on that, actually. Who knew you could get so much joy from a wiggly antenna?
That armor you found, it is very rare indeed. Keep it for yourself. Trust me, you'll need it.
No. I spent a great deal of my Jak 3 review ranting about the vehicle handling, and I'll say the exact same thing here. Wow, it's not fun. Like, at all. The easiest way for me to describe it is that it has the quick and loose handling of an arcade racer, but the characteristics of a sim racer like Forza or Project Cars. Most buggies will spin out at the mere thought of having to turn. That's the kind of thing I'd expect if I played Assetto Corsa or Project Cars with assists off, not from Jak 3 of all things. The game where an elf and his pet have to find artifacts in a desert. A lot can also be said about the weapons. The beam reflexor is the only gun you ever need, blah blah blah, but look, at least the other guns, as situational or even comparatively useless as they may be in the face of our spinning bullet barrage of death, are fun as heck to use. The wave concussors do that one attack that every boss in every game ever does ever thing is one good example.
Don't make me come down there from this perch.
I got a perch for you, Birdie, right here. Twirl it.
You did very well, Jak. You make me proud that our training program is so good.
Let's pretend that I've never played Jak 3 here, but Deimos is totally Jak's father, isn't he?
Move quickly to this spot and show me why we should trust the fate of this world to you.
If you cannot locate Egg, you are not fit to face evil that approaches.
Didn't your father ever tell you to pick your battles wisely?
I didn't know my father.
Oh my god! These leaper lizards die much easier than their tamed brethren because game. Nothing can make up for the buggies and their unpredictable handling in my opinion, but if you don't get giddy jumping around in the dune hopper, then lighten up, kid. What fucking troglodyte designed these?
All we have to do is hit those accelerator rings and we're golden.
Jack sure knows a lot about a bunch of contraptions he's never seen before.
There's no way you're gonna get me on some precursor monk crap! Absolutely zippo chance! Forget it! Finito! Fat chance! Not gonna happen! Nope! Nuh-uh! Never!
Character says they won't do the thing before cutting to them doing the thing cliche. Seems awfully inconvenient to leave half of the accelerator rings closed and require them to be opened by shooting at them. It's probably especially inconvenient for the monks that use them. I'm assuming none of them are the type to carry a morph gun around. It's nice that we get to play as Daxter every now and then, but it's a shame that all we ever do as him is that old Crash 3 hanging from ceilings shit, with one or two exceptions. Daxter can take out metalheads in one shot with a swing of his pathetic little tail, meanwhile they take multiple shots from Jack's gun. He also gets the same amount of health as Jack, despite not wearing any of the armor he's found. We all know by this point that someone at Naughty Dog had a foot fetish. Someone else, though, must have had a hard-on for ruins filled with spiders. There are more parallels between the Jack and Uncharted series than you think. Jack gets invisibility, and criminally is only given the opportunity to use it once or twice. This is a recurring theme for all the abilities. Oh, yeah, sure, put the health regeneration ability in the game that doesn't need it. Right. I consider Jack 2 the harder game overall, but honestly, I don't know if this is just me or not, but I found myself getting fucked by the long, hard dick of the timer on this rescue mission in the Wasteland more than I did with pretty much anything in Jack 2. In Jack 3's defense, it has an adaptive difficulty system that makes missions easier if you continue to fail them, and I guess that's worth a win. But there's a few too many random factors for this mission to be all that fair. The marauders ramming into you, your car exploding after falling any further than 6 centimeters. Honestly, this mission can just go to hell.
Isn't it time for you ankle biters naps?
Says you, wearing the oversized diaper. Turret section. Remember back in Jack 2 how precursor orbs were hidden in stupid places that would make Platonic games shake their heads, and how they weren't worth bugger all? Well, they fixed it, thank Christ. Now they're worth weapon upgrades, not that they need them, but whatever, as well as some fun secrets, extra vehicles, all sorts of stuff worth actually going for. I know sandstorms are supposed to be hard to see through, but yikes, ease up guys.
The city threw me out, remember? They can rot for all I care.
But what about your...
Get it! Just leave. I have new friends now. I'm through saving the world.
To fully enjoy the plot, you have to convince yourself that this cutscene doesn't exist, because in the literal next mission, Jack is back in Haven City and he's almost enthusiastic about it. What troglodyte drives like this? Another light Jack power that only gets used once. You can use this one during combat if you wish, but when would you ever need to? Fucking troglodytes! Another power you'll never use. The shield also has no use outside of combat, so good luck remembering you even have this. Whatever you do, avoid direct eye contact. The part where you have to hit the targets to lower the tracks would almost be a challenge, if the beam reflexer didn't reflect further into the level and hit targets you can't even see yet. Just in case Vega felt like a quick game of soccer with the kids round the corner.
We're on a time clock, Jack. That light in the sky, do you know what it is? Our nightmare has found us and the end is coming. I needed quick access to the catacombs below, so I attacked the palace myself. It will be our little secret.
Spiffy facial animations aside, I always liked Vega as a villain. One of those types who's so far up his own ass he doesn't think of himself as a villain, doing the wrong things for the right reasons.
I will be the bright light that shines to every corner of the world and destroys all shadows.
Excuse me, Count Vulgar.
It's Vega.
Yeah, whatever. Isn't it kind of nice just to curl up in the shade sometimes?
Haven City confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 4.
And Jack?
We're sorry for what happened.
To what? Jack's ass? Jack 3 has a good ass soundtrack, I tell you what. Jack 1 and 2 have good ambient, atmospheric soundtracks, but Jack 3 proves you can have atmospheric tunes that also have memorable motifs. I can actually remember half the music in this one.
Errol.
I live!
Jack saw a transmission of Errol back in the Wasteland but couldn't figure out who it was. Now he recognizes him like he's his best mate. Also, they put an extra R in Errol's name. Now we know where the budget went.
Well, I've had a few enhancements since we last met.
Yeah, the enhancement was brought back to life after being blown into a million bits.
Even the metalheads have their biological weakness. But me? I'm pure metal.
We could, I don't know, melt you down, throw you into a crusher and turn you into a cube, use cross-chop for a super effective hit. I'll spare you the list. Daxter's anorexic little frame is enough to not only steer this rocket, but he's also strong enough to pull it several meters into the air. I cannot tell you how much of a relief it is to be able to navigate Haven City without crashing into traffic or hitting every KG soldier you see. I will miss the do, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
All right, cut! Where's the director? I can't work like this.
I shit you not, this is the first time I've seen one of Daxter's little death quotes in Jak 3. And I only found out about it because someone told me in the comments, so I went out of my way to die so I could hear them. It seems like not a lot of people know about them either, because there's a low chance of them playing upon death, plus they only happen in specific areas. Areas where you're not particularly likely to actually die. Though, in all honesty, most of them aren't worth dying for.
Oh, man! That had to hurt.
This power actually gets used multiple times, but it's just a bunch of breakable walls placed at seemingly random points in certain missions, as if it's only there to remind you that the power actually exists. Would have been cool to find other breakable walls out in the Wasteland or Haven City that hid precursor orbs behind them or something. I mean, if this is a thing, then feel free to dislike the video, lol. In Jak 2, getting to Haven Forest required you to go through this door, take a teleporter next to the temple ruins, and ride the platform down to the forest. In Jak 3, it seems to have just replaced the temple ruins entirely. I appreciate not having to take all that time to get there, but this makes no sense. Why is the handling on this zoomer so good? Why couldn't they all be like this? All Jak's guns disappear during this mission because... game. Also, I have nothing against a top-down shooter mission, but it would be 48 times more fun if, when I pressed a direction, Jak would immediately snap to that direction, instead of having to slowly turn around. I have to keep backing up and giving myself room to turn so I don't accidentally touch an enemy and immediately take damage. More crossover material like this in my video games, please. I have never seen this animation before and I love it.
Jak, the holocube! That's one of the items we need for the forest! Good work! Keep looking for more!
Who the frick is speaking to me right now? Wait, you're telling me that's Kira? Actually, okay, gonna be honest here, her voice is considerably more pleasant than Anna Gardino's take on the character, who I guess wasn't worth hiring because Kira has, what, 3-4 lines of dialogue in the entire game?
You are shaping up to be one of my finest warriors, and I'll need you for the trials ahead. I mustn't lose you, like I lost my son.
Oh my god! You know why I love sin in games? Because unlike reviews, I can go ham on every single little section that pisses me off. Case in point, this mission where you have to chase down marauders, leap into the air and try to aim your shot at them because they'll be too far away to shoot down normally. It's one of the missions that really highlights how unnecessarily finicky Jak 3's buggies can be.
What's Deimos got to do with Haven City, Sig?
None of your business.
You're playing with people's lives.
Not really. All Sig was doing was spying for Deimos in Haven City. He didn't really make anyone's lives worse off or anything, apart from when he unknowingly opened a passage in the city's underport that led all the metalheads in, but we're not here to split hairs.
I bet if you crank up that donk, you and the offsider just might be able to catch him.
Crank up that donk. Turret section. Remote control has one button cliché. What are they all looking at here? The remote has one button and no screens.
Behold, the seed of our destruction. The Dark Makers were once precursors, but their exposure to Dark Eco changed them.
So how come Jak and Daxter didn't become as vile and twisted as the Dark Makers? Why was it only these precursors who turned into Dark Eco aliens? Also, Dark Eco aliens. You'll never be able to unhear that again.
Let me be the first to officially apologize for the city.
Forget about it. I've got my own interest in this.
I feel like there's a couple plot beats missing here. First, Jak doesn't want to save the city, then he has a very sudden change of heart, and now he says he has his own interests. There's nothing that really shows what those interests are. What, does he want to take down Errol? Their rivalry... Fuck! Their rivalry wasn't much outside of two races going head-to-head for the girl.
Count Viger, I hereby dissolve the city council and strip you of your title, command, and all privileges.
If you have the power to do that, why didn't you do it earlier, when the city's best hope of survival was being exiled into the desert?
To open the old power room, you must find the junction box in the sewer. Personally, I think you're crazy to go down there.
Even though we've been down there twice already. And that's not including our jaunts into the sewers in Jak 2. Okay.
When I put you into the system, the main security will slam down hard. It'll be up to you to beat the system and get out, or get eco-zapped for good.
I can accept Vin sticking his brain into a computer before he died, but should I send the ludicrous fact that he can turn Daxter into a digital form, then dump him, as well as the cipher they need, back into the real world again? Yes. Yes, I should. The one piece of advice people give for this Pac-Man inspired mission is to hit X to go faster. Honestly, I beat it on my last playthrough without hitting X, but on this playthrough I died 6 times because going faster made me take more risks, therefore making this mission much more frustrating than it would have been. Anyway, let's not sin that, that's just me being incompetent, and sin the fact that I would much rather be platforming right now, thanks. Anyone gonna tell us what happened to the water slums between Jak 2 and 3? On one hand, naming this weapon the Plasmite RPG is false advertising. What part of this short-range bomb is rocket-propelled? On the other hand, who the fuck cares? This weapon is actually good because it's hilariously overpowered, but not to the ridiculous scale of the beam reflexor, as it doesn't take out enemies that are in completely different rooms and chews through ammo like an Albuquerquean after a little bit of that scante. One of the few weapons in Jak 3 that's fun to use and not stupid powerful.
Don't fret. You won't live to see what I turn this little world into. Maybe a rock, or a floating puddle of slag, or nothing at all. Complete oblivion! So hard to choose.
I don't know, why is Errol the villain exactly? It doesn't seem like he had much of a vendetta against the world in Jak 2, and he doesn't seem to have any new motives here, he just wants to kill everybody. I would have just had Count Vega as the villain, personally. He's a much more captivating villain type because he's not just about the destruction of living things. He'll just do some naughty things to get what he wants. That sort of personality opens up his character to all sorts of interesting moments and varied interpretation of his actions, but instead we're stuck with Angry Cyborg Man. Maybe Errol's as angry as he is because they added a second R in his name?
Damn! He got away!
Wait, where did that teleporter even lead? And how did you lose Errol if you followed him in? How many times do we gotta head back to this temple? 3? 4? The trek back and forth is starting to grind my gears. Would have been cool to see some more experimental weapons like the mass inverter, which, what did I say in my review of this? It slowed time and sent enemies flying, or whatever? Yeah, okay, tip of the iceberg, that one. Nice job, 2018 me. Turret section!
Wait, you were once the leader of Haven City?
I came to the throne during the middle of the Metalhead Wars.
Man, the directing really went downhill since Jak 2, huh? Turret section...
I'm linked to the Dark Machine. I can control some of the machines.
Some of the machines equates to precisely one of the machines, except also it's just a palette swap of the Titan suit from Jak 2. At least there's no slouch in combat this time around, but it still controls like doo-doo. Jak 3. Oops, all turret sections! Also, this turret section is unnecessarily long and tedious because we have to go from one end of the city to the other. We can see that these hover cars aren't restricted to the 2 hover zones most are restricted to, so just fly over the city, dum-dum. Here's a potentially unpopular opinion. The Supernova is a better Rhino-style weapon than the Rhino itself is. When you fire it, everything around you is completely obliterated. The music goes quiet and all you can hear is the aftermath of the explosion. That shit gives me goosebumps.
It's gonna blow!
Let's get out of here!
Sig Ex Machina. I gushed enough about this level in my review, but I love everything about this level. The somber tone, the music, knowing that this used to be that stinky stadium with those smelly races from Jak 2. Fuck, it's great, man. Deus Ex Machina. The only reason this happens is because Jak has had a sudden brain lapse and forgot that he could just accelerate and escape the mortar. But no, it's time for sad dad death scene.
Please, promise me one thing. Promise me you'll find my son, Mar. You'll know him when you see this. He's wearing an amulet just like it. A symbol of our lineage with the great House of Mar.
I know this is a touching moment and I'm going to give it a couple of wins, but oh my god!
Yes, you were that child. I took you from Deimos, hoping to harness your eco powers for my experiments. Then I lost you to the underground. You seem upset. Did I tell you too late? You were the son of the great warrior Deimos. Oh, and he never knew. How delightful.
More wins, please! Why is this man not the real villain? Fucking troglodytes!
We are unhappy with your performance. If you had been a true hero, you would have stopped Errol by now.
Oh my god.
Don't look so upset. If you knew we precursors were a bunch of little fuzzy rats, would you worship us?
Not gonna lie, yeah.
What does Daxter look like?
Ah, yes. All eco contains the source of our essence. Our code, so to speak.
When Daxter touched the Dark Eco, he was actually blessed when he thought he was cursed.
Again, what makes Daxter so special? Jack dies when he falls into vats of Dark Eco and other precursors become corrupted by Dark Eco, and until now Daxter was the only Ottsel seen in the entire series, so there's no set of rules as to how this works.
These creatures are the great precursors? And I wanted to evolve into the... No!
Lucky bastard. I mean, not helping, Aaron! Jack's momentary lapse in judgment made him think he could push a dude with a jetpack off a ledge. Light Jack powers that don't function the same as they do in gameplay Ex Machina.
This guy just won't quit!
It's headed for the city.
It's got no idea where the city is, it's just doing laps of the wasteland. The first phase of the final boss is a huge pain in the ass. Literally. You're forced into the sand shark and need to take out these little things on its legs, which, between the legs moving every few seconds and the stupid handling physics, is much easier said than done. However, what a concept for the final boss. It makes use of the entire wasteland, and very few things on the PS2 match the sheer scale of the terraformer. It's not executed super well, but I gotta give props where it's due. Shame the second phase is ridiculously easy. Climb up on the side of the terraformer's, cake, smack it a few times, all the while hopped up on so much light eco you'll be hard-pressed to actually lose. Jack and Daxter survived this. This round of tonsil hockey is somehow even more forced than Jack and Kira's relationship in the first game.
But dude, there are like way more challenges in the future.
Yeah, like a racing game spin-off, a prequel, and that was it, right?
You can call me by my first name, by what my father called me, Mar.
Wait, Jack is Mar? The Mar?
This raises so many questions. Was Jack the Mar who founded Haven City? Because that means he founded the place where he was born, which, like... Why do I bother questioning this? I'm losing IQ by the minute trying to figure out how any of this makes sense. I'm just gonna accept that it doesn't. You all wonder why I'm a frickin' furry now. Actually, it was because of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but my point still stands.
Are you ready, Jack? We have something to show you.
What?
The universe.
What, did he time travel his way out of that one too? I'm fucking done with this shit. Give me some cheese for all this baloney. Real talk, why do you guys spell baloney like that? Just call it Devon like us, you wankers. Wait, I gotta do an ad read. Crap, okay. Relatable gaming moment. You're going after 100% completion on Jack 3, and it's time to buy those buggies. You go to buy the Desert Screamer and realize it costs 20 precursor orbs. Oh, woe is me, you moan. I wish these stupid buggies that are just sand sharks but somehow worse weren't so expensive. Might there be a browser extension that lets me get them for a considerably cheaper price? Well, unfortunately, no, but you can do that in real life with real products on real websites. Thanks to Honey. Listen, you don't want to feel like you're wasting money shopping online, right? I know I don't. I'm poorer than a 4 out of 10 from GameSpot. But Honey is here to help. It's a free browser extension that automatically finds all the best coupons and promo codes whenever you shop online. You could put in more effort scratching your butt than the effort required to get the best deals from over 37,000 sites such as Amazon, eBay, Best Buy, Groupon, all those other American sites I don't know. I went on Redbubble to buy a shirt. Check this out. 31 bucks, okay? I apply the codes with a single click and bam! I just got $3.72 off of this When You Walking shirt. Or I would have if Redbubble didn't suck! Okay, different example. My grandparents bought me a brand new iPad mini a few weeks ago as an early birthday present. God bless their souls. And I helped them knock 20 bucks off the price because, gosh dang, Nan and Pop, you didn't have to spoil me on a tablet so I can draw stupid goat veil with my Apple Pencil. Hashtag persona reveal. I swear I try harder than this sometimes. Honey works on pretty much anything. It's free, it's already got over 10 million members, it's got thousands of 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. It's free, it saves you money, plain and simple. They're also upfront about how they make money. They earn commissions from merchants when you use coupons they apply. And none of your information is sold to third parties either. You gotta be on board now, right? And it's free! Did I mention it's free? Probably, but guess what? It's free! There's literally no reason not to add Honey to your desktop browser right now, you Neanderthal. It's free and installs in 2 clicks. It's free! Go to joinhoney.com/ref/valeforXD, no capitals, or just click the referral link in the description below. Not only does it help me as I'll be able to afford real food and stop sucking the moisture out of the carpet, but you'll also be one step closer to shaving dollars off your next online purchase. Remember, that's joinhoney.com/ref/valeforXD. Damn, I should be in advertising. Anyway, back to the video, yeah? When Jack dies, Daxter might say, "This is what happens when they drop my name from the title." That line still makes me cackle like a hissing cat to this day. At a win, my boy. Considering that Ashlyn apparently personally knew who Deimos was before his exile, you'd think she would have known about his son being Jack? When you kill Dark Makers, sometimes they might drop Light Eco. Like, what? Sin for putting Jack with Ashlyn, then putting him back with Kira in Jack X. I guess the shipper backlash was far too much for those naughty dogs to handle. Kira has only like 3 lines in the whole game. Nice job wasting a good character, Naughty Dog. Oh yay, another Titan mech suit. We definitely love those missions from Jack 2. Deimos' plot twist reveal as Jack's father is treated like a way bigger bra moment than it should have. Jack should have deduced that Deimos was his father after he learned that Deimos was the original leader of Haven City, because he knows that the kid was him and that he was the true heir. In the mission where you obtain Light Flight, Sin was supposed to die at the end, but the devs changed their mind last minute without re-recording the scene, leaving Sin awkwardly talking like a person that's dying while standing there all healthy like. Something that always frustrated me about the Jack lore. Jack is supposedly Ma built Haven City, but the timeline for this never comes together. Does Jack travel back in time again to found Haven City? Or did Deimos, his father, name him after the original Ma? And why don't the precursors say anything about this? They have to have known the truth because they guided Ma through his greatest accomplishments. Was this sequel bait that didn't pan out? Was it bad writing? Was Ashlyn just talking nonsense? During the glider section on your way to get invisibility, the desert is covered in trees and other foliage, including a big-ass rock near Spargus, but when driving around, almost none of them are actually there. While there are a few unanswered questions and such, I feel Jack 3's ending is pulled off very well. I think it leaves just enough questions unanswered to open up the potential for a sequel, while tying up enough loose ends and being just the right amount of happy to warrant being, well, an ending. While not the most fantastic ending in a video game ever, I feel like Jack 3's is certainly great, especially for a 3D platformer, although I can't take what you say seriously with that pony avatar. The 4 cars behind precursor or paywalls are kinda shit. The Desert Screamer feels like a lighter and harder to control sand shark, the Dust Demon is a sand shark with grenade launchers, and the Heat Seeker is, again, the sand shark, but with a better turbo boost. I get that they couldn't put more niche buggies behind precursor orbs, but the fact that all 3 just handle like upgraded sand sharks sucks, especially since nearly every single mission involving the cars forces you into the sand shark anyways, so you can't even use the. Aside from the precursor reveal obviously deserving a win, it opens up a lot of questions, specifically about the precursor stone. Was it a precursor egg after all? And if not, what the hell was it then? What did we spend half of the nightmare that is Jack 2 fighting over? As much as I love the floating factory mission, having 3 Daxter sections really close together is a definite sin. Going directly from Jack 2 to Jack 3 is like going from your angry sergeant who makes you do 100 push-ups in a row to your nice grandma who makes you cookies and spoils you rich. Also, you can't make me read that, I know my rights.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Wow, it's been a little minute, huh? Real quick, let's get it out of the way before I bore you with all the boring shit. The next game to be sinned, as decided by my beautiful patrons, will be Jack X. I've never actually played it before, so it should be fun to see how it advances the story, if at all. But yeah, you can submit your own sins and wins for that video now, but as usual, there's 2 rules. Remember to tag them with hashtag ERAWW, and remember to only put them in the comments section of this video. Otherwise, I won't be able to find them. If you want to vote for the next game to be sinned/winned after Jack X, just drop a buck on my Patreon. It helps out more than you think, plus you can influence what video may very well be my downfall. This time around I'm going to hit the brakes on any more Jak and Daxter games for the sake of variety, but I'll introduce Daxter back into the polling next time. So for now, your choices are The Last of Us, A Hat in Time, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Knack, and 5th game that I forgot to write down and have definitely put up on the screen right now. I want to give a big thank you to you guys for being so patient as well. Most of you at least. I don't want to sit here and list off all my excuses for 10 minutes and try to win back your affection, but between being evicted from our house, I don't know if evicted is the right word, between having to relocate and trying to find a new place, as well as family medical issues I won't get into here, it's been a hard couple of months, and truthfully going forward it may still be a little hard. But most of you guys have been the most patient little angels, and I appreciate that so much. So again, thank you for sticking around. A big thank you to Bite My ASCII, Mitchell Reese, Diablo5564, Nation McAltile, Tyler Kasuba, Wafflecopter, Damien Maxted, Olivisla, I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, Keegan Smith, Tyler Cross, Duncan Austin, Pastor Boy, Gabba Scabba, Leo LX50, Tabriz Sadiq, Heat Hoot Skyet, Global Truncation Era, Laurent LaCroix, Sheepy, Loomis Doomis, Chatter Estop, Gepnikan, Cooper James Price, Sebastian Orbe, Nathaniel Forrest, Travis Miranda, Thomas Hart, Lazaro Dave, The Ruby Red Rose, and Philip Iaki, also Isaac Lamp. So thanks to you guys, and thank you to everyone else who's pledging to me on Patreon and helping keep this channel alive. I love you all, my children.